This palm is in almost every big box store, but almost nobody knows that it can survive a winter lower than zone 8. Yes, I'm talking about the Chinese fan palm, the Livistona chinensis. And yes, she is outside, thriving, right here in New York. Hi everyone, it's Tim. Welcome back to my channel. This is the place where we zone push, we play in the dirt, and we grow things that we should not be growing in a cold climate like New York. Today is my midweek video, and we are spotlighting one of my favorite palms that is so common. You see it everywhere. You see it at Home Depot, you see it at Lowe's, you see it in the box stores. Yes, I'm talking about the underrated Chinese fan palm, and it's a great palm, and we're going to talk about it today. This palm is so underrated. A lot of palm growers don't even grow it. In fact, when I got this palm, I had a bunch of people say, "Why are you getting that? Like, everybody has that. It's just a normal house plant." Well, guess what? It may be normal inside, but it's not so normal outside, at least in colder climates. And it's a beautiful palm. And I want to show you, it's big, it's romantic, it's fun, it has a trunk. What more could you ask for? I do have to admit that many years I had a Chinese fan palm and I would bring it inside. And I'm going to tell you about that. Inside, in your living room, in your sunroom where it's warm, they don't do that well in the wintertime. Spider mites, they don't like it, they don't get enough sun, it's just, they decline. And I'm sure some of you have had experience with that. And if you figured out a way to successfully keep it in your living room, let me know. What I did find is if I bring it inside and keep it in the basement with light, but where it's cooler and all of that, they do much, much better. I still wouldn't say great. But what I found is if I keep them outside, cover them, and let them go dormant, they do really, really well and come back. I have had this palm about 4 years, and I want to show you. This is new growth coming up this year right here. It hasn't even really unfurled yet. There's more new growth coming up down there, and this is a double trunk. So I'm going to get down here to show you. I've got a hydrangea coming up right beside it that eventually will have to be moved, but here is the double trunk, and you can see new growth coming out there, and there's another new frond coming up right there. But it's a pretty sizable trunk here. I'll put my hand up here. I mean, it's not great, but it is bigger than what you would find in your local box store right now, unless you're really, really lucky. They do have spines, as you can see, so it will get you. You have to be careful with that. But it has a really, really nice look to it. And there's a little bit, this is from being up against the foam board. It got a little frost nipped last year, but I think it's a beautiful palm, and I think more of us should have it. And if you've ever seen one with a large trunk, they're really nice. I do think it is a great palm if you're looking for something other than just a Trachycarpus. Trachycarpus is definitely more cold tolerant than this, but this definitely gives you a little bit more of that tropical feel. And when you see the edges of this palm here, I have to say that I am guilty on that because I uncovered this palm a little early, and then we had the April snowstorm, and I actually covered it in frost cloth, and it suffered a little bit from that. It's just on these bottom ones here, but the top part where the new growth is very, very green. And for my date palms and this palm and several of my other palms, I am not going to uncover too early next year. I'm probably going to wait till the very end of April to uncover them. Trachycarpus I still will uncover in late March, but I made a mistake here. That's my fault. Here is when I opened them up in early April, and you can see the box. And here's with some of the box taken off. You can see that the base there is I'm using that to anchor around the plant, and I should have done one lower too, because this still could blow over. And next year I will be doing that. I would be doing a better job of winterizing my Chinese fan palm. But it's basically insulation board, Christmas lights, a temperature controller so that it comes on when it gets too cold, and it does not need light during the winter because it goes dormant. And I think that's part of the key with this palm to get it to overwinter. Now I'm going to show you what one of my friends did that is a little different than I did, had a little different result, but it just shows that you can make do with something else. So here is his Chinese fan palm that is in the ground. Here's just a closer look at it. And he did not want to do the insulation board, so he basically used Christmas lights and a frost cloth cover. And I worried about this, especially with our bad winters, but he's actually had it in the ground for 3 winters now. I'm not recommending this method, but it has lived. It's died a little bit to the ground, but he has gotten it through the winter. I went to a large box store to find a Chinese fan palm, and I only found Robollinis, which is just crazy that there are Robollinis and no Chinese fan palms. But online for the same box store, this is Home Depot here in the United States, they're definitely selling them online. And then I went to a other nursery grocery store, and they had a large one for sale, a little bit pricey, but it was a really nice specimen. It, like, not as big as mine, but very nice. So what is the rating? Okay, this one was a hard one for me because I really, again, I feel like I say this every week, I really want to give it a 9 because it's so easy to do, but the fact that it's difficult indoors, I think so. Please debate me on that if you feel differently. And I think the fact that I have to cover it a little more aggressively than my friend did, although he is making it live, makes me want to give it a 9, but I'm going to give it an 8 just because of that. It's a great palm. It's not as easy as maybe the Trachycarpus, I will admit that, but it's a good palm. I highly recommend it. It's so available. You can almost take a risk with it. I mean, you saw that price at Home Depot online. It was $40-something. I bet you could get it cheaper at another store. And then, yes, maybe you get emotionally tied to it, because I get emotionally tied to all my palms. But you could just say, all right, I may sacrifice this one and try getting it through the winter outside with minimal protection, or try getting it through the winter inside if I'm really, really good about spider mites and things like that. Maybe 8.5. Let's give it an 8.5. I feel better about that. If you ever have grown a Chinese fan palm outside, or you're successful with this Livistona chinensis inside, I would love to know. I would love to know what zone you're in, what success you've had, what problems you've had. If you could just please let me know in the comments. And I hope you've all enjoyed this plant spotlight this week. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. All those things help with the algorithm. And if you like, please share it with another palm lover. And I will see you this Saturday with a full garden something or other. I haven't even figured it out yet. But thanks for watching.